W89RMK. You gotta. Maybe it's my internet. Everybody seems to be a little choppy. I'm out here in the middle of I-40. I run Wilson Wii Boost and everything. And you have to.
I think it has something to do with the link between the repeaters, because sometimes I can hear you guys better on this local repeater, and sometimes I can hear you on the live stream I'm listening to. Like my buddy Joe in Washington, we're buddies. We went to high school together. He's a truck driver too. But yeah, he was cutting out on the local repeater, but I could hear him on the live stream, and then vice versa. So I don't know what's going on.
KJ7ZWJ.
There you are. I can hear you now.
Yeah, somebody unlinked the reflector, so I linked it back. So I might have to find another repeater to talk on here, but we'll talk on this one until I get kicked off again.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, I'm just sitting here in the hotel room. I'm about 3 miles from the repeater, talking on an ID51A Plus Max, whatever it's called.
All right. W89RMK, KJ7ZWJ.
Yeah, can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, I hear you both really good now.
Okay. Sounds like somebody might be fighting my buddy Joe for the repeater, unlinking it or something. I don't know. You still there, Joe? Well, I know he's got another local repeater. He can use the link up to the 030 Charlie reflector if he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a truck driver. I'm a steering wheel holder. Seat warmer. Yeah, anyway. I was an IT guy. I was a computer guy for 22 years, IT director. Now I hold a steering wheel. Look out the window. Yeah, I was using the D-Star repeaters that I could pick up, but, traveling, you go in and out of them pretty quickly sometimes, and I bought another hotspot. Got the Zoom spot he leads from ham radio outlet 3 days ago, so that's what I'm on now.
That's cool. I've thought about getting a hotspot just to, for the convenience. You could just talk from a handheld from wherever. You can even hook it up to your phone, or, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. I used to work in the IT business, too. I got out of it right around when Snowden got in trouble. I didn't want to be part of it after that. So I sell cars now. I'm way happier. Less BS to deal with.
Yeah, I was IT director IT manager, IT director for 22 years. Did some other stuff in between it. I decided to get out of it 3 years ago. I was going to go sell local jet, UV printers, and that didn't pan out the way I thought. I didn't like sales. I didn't like phone sales. I like going to work at the shows and conventions, but I didn't like following up on leads and crap and working the phone. I convinced people they needed to buy something and, to compete with something I was already doing myself, with printing. And then I got into installing internet out in North Dakota. or South Dakota and Nebraska for a WISP, for a wireless internet service provider. So I learned that game, and then I decided, you know what, I wanted to go drive, put my CDL to use, so I've been out here driving now. Got me good little gigs. Got lots of time. Just kind of getting back into the ham radio thing. Finally put the radios back in the truck after 4 months. And I got me an HF radio, so we'll try that. Try to do a little bit of that too. Back to you, 87 HF. Semi-truck wiggle wagon mobile.
Hey, Roger, I feel you. Man, I just moved to Florida. I was living in Washington State. I got sick of everything up there. Sold my house, moved down here, and starting fresh. I start a new car dealership on Monday. But
yeah, dropped out there, so I don't know what's going on with the connection tonight. I was looking at Florida. I was looking at moving there, but this gig came up. I could probably still relocate there and drive out of one of the Florida southeastern freight yards. But this works where I'm at. You know, there's lots of lakes and stuff around here, and a lot less Florida man to worry about. You know, Florida man, it scares me. So I stay down here with the Little Rockians and stay away from Florida guy. I'll probably do just better down here.
oh yeah, Roger. I think my repeater is not. Oh wait, there it is. You dropped out for a second, but I could hear you on the live stream. It was doing it again. Yeah, my friends are joking. I'm the Florida man. You know, they're all jealous because you know Washington's kind of not doing too good right now. But yeah, it's a lot of fun down here. The weather's really nice. That's the number one reason I came down.
Yeah, I was in Jacksonville 3 months ago. Man, it's been a while since they got me to Florida here. I was taking some loads down to Orlando and Boynton Beach, rolls of paper and stuff, and so a lot of Gatorade. I took some Gatorade loads down there last year, the other company. You know, I thought if you get to Florida a lot more with the Southeastern gig. We just don't seem to be getting there. I guess they don't need me there. They keep sending my butt to New Orleans. I keep ending up in New Orleans, and I can't stand New Orleans. That's a cesspool. Stinks every time I go there, especially, just had the hurricane, too. I was down there, right after the hurricane. I go through Louisiana a lot. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, my voice is... Not sure what's going on with my voice tonight. Yeah, it's nicer weather for sure. Maybe I'll get down there try to tell them I want to go down there some more and have them work me that way and hit up Miami or something.
Roger that. Yeah, when I drove all the way here in my GT Mustang from Washington, and I made sure I drove straight through New Orleans. All my buddies told me not to stop.
Yeah, I call that Lake Potty Train. Lake Potty Train. It's just, I don't like that city. Some people like New Orleans. I can think of many other places I would rather be. And I wanted to move to Georgia, near Lake Oconee, and I got up here and seen that there's a bunch of lakes and stuff around here. And so I think next year I'll get me a little boat, give me a little pontoon boat, something to do on the weekends. I can put the ham radio on up on the floating DX.
Roger that. Hey, one of my favorite things on the drive down here, I got a Ranger radio and everybody on the CB. I kept it on channel 19 the whole time. I was asking if anybody's seen any smoky bears. Everybody always told me where they were. That was the best part.
I drive this south so much now that I pretty much know a lot of their hiding spots. You really got to watch those towns, you know, and you're coming down, you know, like through Texas and then coming, you know, down the side highways, and when you come into the dropping, especially around Louisiana and stuff, that's their revenue. They'll pull you over an RV and start writing you tickets. So.
Open spot connected to Ref14 Charlie.
Mainly in the San Jose area, Napa, Vallejo, that area, but not directly east of San Francisco.
Okay, very good. Yeah, well, you are familiar with the Bay Area. Very good. Yeah, I have seen Chino on the map, and I've been. We do dog shows sometimes, and been to San Bernardino, and sometimes we stay out that direction, even if the dog show is somewhere else, like Industry Hills or somewhere. Anyway, yeah, very good. I just I wanted to come back to you because I heard you, but I just went out to get takeout, and I'm just arriving home, so I have to go. Sorry for the quick QSO. Back to you.
No problem there, man. Thanks for coming back to me. I was going to come over here and meet somebody that was actually not too far away from me in Diamond Bar on this reflector. So it's good to hear somebody up north. Yeah, I've actually worked some dog shows in my profession. I work in television. I want to say I worked at one in Claremont, and I think I worked another one in Long Beach. It was for USA Network, I want to say. But anyways, you take care and have a good dinner with your takeout there. This is Greg, K6EGG, also live streaming on YouTube. If you type my call letters into the YouTube search engine. Have a good evening, sir.
Okay. Fun talking to you quickly like this, and yeah, we see people doing video and shows, you know, from time to time. And when it was in Long Beach, it could have been, it was like 5 or 6 years ago. That's when the American Kennel Club had their invitational. And this is kind of their biggest dog show of the year. It's now being done out in Orlando, but that might have been when you were there. We always went to that show. So, anyway, good to talk to you, and maybe we'll hook up again here on Reflector 14 Charlie. 73 K6JM mobile is clear.
N7 UFD, you got it there, man.
Yeah, once again, Greg, I appreciate it. I guess because the other gentleman was continually talking on 30C, it would let me change it like you said. So, and I did not know you had that option on the Pi Star. So, once again, thank you, kind sir.
No problem, and that's kind of why you're supposed to leave a little bit of a space in between. I tend to forget sometimes when I'm in a middle of a conversation, but I try to as most as possible. The reason why I brought you over here, or I asked you to come over here, you said you got your radio back, and did you get it reprogrammed up, your ICOM 9700, that is?
Well, I'm still trying to get the 9700 to play ball with me. I still have an anomaly, not a radio anomaly. It's a programming anomaly to where it won't let me, every time I try and save a hotspot, it won't let me do it. So I'm still working on that, but then I had to go do other things. So, but yeah, I'm on the D74 right now.
Copy that. How are you setting the hotspot or saving the hotspot into the DV menu or DV memory? Pardon me.
Okay, I do recall one of your shows. There was DR and DV, and you were having an issue programming yours too, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and then you said you couldn't do it. You could do it in memory, or you couldn't do it in memory.
I have it in both. I have it in regular memory, and I have it in DV memory. You have to be out of DV mode to put a DV memory in. I know that. I had that problem. And then you have to make sure all the characters and everything is correct as well.
Right, I remember that about the spacing and so repeater 1, repeater 2. I remember you said that. So I think the only anomaly I have, and I keep using that term, is that when I watch different YouTube videos, the way that they set up, because I'm trying to connect direct without a hotspot through the internet, I'm wondering if somehow going through my router I need to open a port or something.
Oh, you're using terminal mode is what you're saying.
Yes, my apologies. That's what I meant. Yeah, terminal mode is what I'm trying to do because the hotspot is for the D74. I only have one hotspot, so I don't want to mess with that, especially since I'm here with the radio and I have the connection, so I'd like to try terminal. Have you done that yet?
I have not done terminal mode. I've tried furiously. I have to have another computer going with it. But you could connect two different radios to the hotspot without a problem. You just have to have one of them off. So that's not an issue at all.
So how do you do that with your 9700?
I basically entered the hotspot in as a DV repeater and set the offset to 0. And fortunately, because I'm on DV right now, I'm using the DV mode. I can't show you how I did that. It won't let me get into that part of the menu.
Okay, well, let me experiment with that. And how long are you going to still be around tonight?
Actually, I can get into that part of the menu. I can kind of show you if you want.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Thanks.
Okay, so if you're watching me, first I'll start off with my, sorry for the double there. I'll start off my configuration page right here. This will have the frequency and everything, and I changed this yesterday, and I don't know if you were watching yesterday, but I had a problem. I was on a pair, frequency that was used for a pair for testing DMR. But anyways, basically, you want to have this frequency in your radio, which I'll show you where to put that in just a second. And I'll go to that screen right now. So to get to the screen where you put your DV menu in, you press the menu button, which is the bottom left, and you hit the DVD memory, I would go to repeater list. I'd scroll down, and then you can make your own repeater group. I just put it in the West, and then I've hit add. It would add a DV repeater. And I don't want to add another one right now because I'm talking. It won't let me put the stuff in. So let me go back here. I'll show you the one that I have. So I put in a repeater type. It's a DV repeater. A name. It can be whatever you want to call it. I just call it that. I can go into edit mode. Oops, I can't do that because I'm in DR memory. This stuff's not too important. The subname is California. Here's what's very important is what Ken was mentioning in the chat. Put in your call letters, and you have a shorter call letters like I am, and the G for gateway has to be in the 8th spot, which is one huge problem I had getting this thing working. US West is just a group that I have it in, which I first selected. Make sure you have the from on as yes. This is the frequency right here, down here, which is the same as I put into, oops, I just hit my thing here, which is the same here. Oops, go back to here, it's a little bigger, you can see a little bigger. Have a duplex. I know it sounds weird. It's a simplex frequency, but have it on minus because you have to have it make it look like it's a D-star repeater, and have it offset to 0. This stuff doesn't really matter right here too much, so I wouldn't worry about that. So that's how I have all the stuff into my radio here.
Okay, yeah, I'm following that along. So, back up one screen. The one where you have to have the 8 characters, because I'm looking at the screen and they don't count 8 characters. Can you explain that a little bit more?
So, crap. Let me try it again. I have to go through the menu when it resets it when I go through when I hit the key to talk. So if you see this, I can't get in here. Oops. I can't change it. Maybe I can't. Nope, I can't because I'm in DR menu. So I have 5 letters right here, obviously K6EGG. And then I have 2 spaces, so 6 and 7, and the 8th character is the G for gateway there.
Okay, so this is misleading because obviously it only looks like 1 character, not 2. So that would make sense then. So you just did 2 spaces and then put the G?
That's correct, yes.
And you said if I use the same hotspot, I just have to turn off one radio or just unlink the radio and then link to the other one.
You can actually have both radios on at the same time because it's technically kind of like a single, a simplex repeater at that point, but there's no need to have that on. You're just going to hear yourself feedback from your transmit from your radio. You're not going to hear yourself like duplex to the hotspot. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here. I'm starting to fade. I went to bed last night kind of early and had to wake up at 4:30, and I worked a full 10 hours plus sitting in traffic 2.5 hours on the way home. So I'm kind of losing it here. There was a lot of traffic on the 60 coming in from downtown. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Oh, yes. I used to work at the gas tower. My daily trek down there and back. It was ridiculous. Okay. Well, thanks again, Greg. I do have some other questions I want to ask you about your other radio because I need to put a mobile in my truck. And I wanted to kind of get your ideas on the 5100 or if there's a better one out there. And also, I think I heard something about you're looking at the ID52 also.
Yeah, feel free to ask away. Maybe somebody's interested in getting a 5100. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, the biggest question I have is, does it do cross-band repeat?
It does do cross-band repeat, but does not do cross-mode repeat. So you can't go in analog and out on D-Star, or in on D-Star and out on analog.
Okay, but like I work satellite, so if I wanted to go mobile, I could still like do the ISS or something like that.
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, cool. And then last but not least, have you checked out the ID52 yet?
I have checked out the ID52. I would like D-Star handheld, something I can have in my purse in my bedroom, so I can listen in maybe on something. I would like maybe even a 51, but I'm also get something new though. I mean, my other HT downstairs is a VX5. If it tells you how old it's a 21-year-old HT. It still works. So that's the last time I basically bought an HT other than a Bell thing. But definitely interested in a ID52. The display color is very similar to my 9700, but I think the menu system's closer to the 5100.
Yeah, I like the D74 because of all the features it has, but it's not cross-band repeat. But I do like the ID52 because it has the DCS, the XLR, and the REF all built into the radio, and also the Bluetooth functionality. So that's something I'm looking at too. But I do love this D74.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the ID52 is going to have internal Wi-Fi as well as terminal mode. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't checked that out in detail. I just been sort of watching a couple of YouTube videos, and I'm curious the fact that they discontinued the D74 or the 72 because of parts availability, how they got the parts for the D52. So has that something that a lot of people have in stock, or it's going to be one of those get it while you can until we can get parts again?
Well, they do have. They are two different companies, so they might have different suppliers or whatever else, or different deals. So they might have had the parts sitting on the shelf, and they didn't have the manpower to build it. So it could be a number of things that happen with that.
Well, pretty much they all come from the same Japanese plant. I'm an RF engineer, and the components that we build for cell phones come from the same place, too. And we're having a hard time with MIMO parts and components. But, yeah, I totally agree with you there. By the way, I have the 6 and the 5, so I have the same radio you do.
The VX5?
Yep. Yep, the 5 and the 6.
I tell you what, man, that BX5 is an amazing radio. I've made a lot of contacts with that radio back in the day. And it's just a solid radio. The buttons on there are still good. My display is still good. And the receive is excellent. Even the AM receiver on it is really good. So I plan on keeping that radio. I'm sure I can get a grip for it in the condition that it's in.
Well, let's see. I know I have an extra case. I might have an extra grip too, but yeah, I love mine too, and it's rock solid. The only thing I've got going on with mine, and I don't know if you've had this, when I charge it, I don't have a charging station. I have the wall wart, but I charge it, and it says I was full charge, but then I get the error on the screen that says the battery's got a problem, but there's no problem.
Yeah, I think the last firmware update did that. I had the same problem with that. So I think that's a firmware issue, and I don't think they've updated their firmware in the last 10 years for it.
And 7 UFT for ID. Okay, so then I'm not, because I was thinking of selling one of my other radios, and then I saw that error screen come up, and I said, well, no one's going to want to buy it that way, but I tested the battery, and it's 100%. So I wonder if going to the earlier firmware would fix that problem.
That might be a problem, but you might cause other problems doing that. Sometimes when you roll back firmware, it causes more problems than you want. I mean, it's a 21-year-old radio. I mean, it's still working. To me, I don't, if it works to me, it's not a problem. Maybe if somebody's interested in it and might know the same problem, they probably won't have an issue with it.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, Greg, I'm going to get off here and try and fire up the 9700, brand new, back. They had to retune it a little bit. I guess it was drifting a bit too, so that was kind of cool. So I have a fully calibrated radio now. And so I'm also, like you, looking at the 7300. I'm going to be taking my General here next weekend. I've been putting it off for years, but I want my General so I can get on HF. And I think you're trying to do it too, aren't you?
I keep saying I'm doing it, going to do it, and I haven't studied at all probably since last June. So maybe eventually. I'm pretty happy with the D-Star setup, and I can't physically go and put out another antenna right now. I got some health issues I'm dealing with, so I'm going to stick with what I have. I'm going to have to run some new cable going outside and stuff like that. So not physically able to get into the attic at this point in time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I hope your back and everything gets better. Okay, Greg. Well, hey, appreciate the QSO, and I didn't know 14 Charlie was one you can even go to. That's why I asked you the other day what the most active reflectors are, because so many of them have no traffic on them at all.
This one is actually hooked to a local repeater here. Actually, in Cypress, you might be able to hit it, although you got some hills in the way there. I can't hit it here, but one of the guys that hooked. Actually, you talked to him. KO6N. That's his repeater. Is tied to 14 Charlie, and he knows apparently the owner of the reflector that's out of Vegas. So I think he was on here one night, or one of the club guys was on here one night. We were chatting. I was wondering how many repeaters this is hooked up to. I think it's hooked up to a couple repeaters in the Vegas area, like 2 or 3 up in Northern California.
What's the repeater? What's the frequency?
I gotta look here. Give me a minute. my screen here shortly. Looks like 144.895, and it's a minus one. Oh, sorry. 144.895, and it's a plus 145.495. I got up on my screen. The call letters are N6CYP. November 6, Charlie Yankee Papa.
Okay. And what was the offset again? It's off on your screen there.
It's a plus 145.495, and I'm looking at the coverage map of it. Looks like you might be out of it too. You're right on the fringe edge here, but I was able to hit it in Brea, so give her a try.
And you're covered up on the tone. What's the tone frequency?
Shouldn't be a tone, it's D-star.
Oh, yeah, huh. Sorry about that. Senior moment.
I have them all the time, and I'm only 46.